Hello everyone, this is Afrida News coming to you from the capital city of Ghana, Accra, where the drums beat for Africa. I am Ohene Kwekuchiresika.
And I am Dona Elita.
Thank you for joining us on the headline segment, where we discuss and review news articles from the Ghanaian Times and the Daily Graphic within the week.
We take the news topics from the Daily Graphic on Monday, 27th of February, 2023. They read, President Akufo-Addo, Boku Naba renew commitment to lasting peace in Boku. Cocoa industry under threat. Illegal miners destroy rehabilitated farms. Nigeria election will be credible, INEC boss. Reverend Wengam takes over as 7th Assemblies of God General Superintendent. Mining firms should undertake legacy projects, NAEC coordinator.
Okay, the front page for the Ghanaian Times on Monday, February 27, 2023 also reads, Yagbonwura, man of peace, development-oriented. President eulogizes late paramount chief of Gonja traditional area. First results expected from tight Nigeria election this week. Government is committed to deepening decentralization in Ghana. Increase SHS quota to 40%. ECG faces court action for felling trees.
One topic we will tackle in the Daily Graphic is cocoa industry under threat. Illegal miners destroy rehabilitated farms. The country's cocoa industry is facing one of its biggest threats as ever as illegal gold miners continue a major onslaught on cocoa farms, including those recently rehabilitated under the national program. The National Cocoa Rehabilitation Program, undertaken by Cocoa Board at a cost of 4.8 billion, is now under threat by Galamsey. The National Cocoa Rehabilitation Program was initiated to help farmers whose plots had been taken over by the swollen shoot virus. And now illegal farmers or illegal miners are ruining the land for these farmers. Some farmers even stated here that even if they do not sell their farms to them, they dig around it, preventing them from having access to their farms. What's your take on this?
I mean, illegal mining, mining illegally itself is bad enough. So for you to go about it and then where we are trying to, rehabilitate these cocoa farms and then you go there then to go and
cause more damage.
More damage. It's very, very disheartening. I mean, try and put yourself in the shoes of the farmer. For that is how he's able to, feed the family and take care of some things. And then for them to do this, I think the government should quickly get involved. Because once nothing is being done, people they might think, oh, okay, after all, nothing is being done about it, so let's continue to do it, which in the long run won't be helpful.
The fact that even the farmers are against it, and these miners still go ahead to dig around their farms to make sure that they are not able to have access, so that they will still use their lands for the gold mining, is actually very bad.
Very.
Because if a farmer's word is not strong enough to put an illegal miner down, then it means we'll have to involve the security personnel to take care of this matter. Because even this farm these farms have been, the paper said it used 4.8 million Ghana
billion, is it billion or
million?
Million.
4.8 billion
yes.
Ghana cedis to rehabilitate these farms.
I mean, it's just like throwing away
money,
4.8 billion.
And you come back and no.
Okay. So let's move on to the Ghanaian Times. Now, this particular story we are going to have a look at this particular story. So ECG faces court action for felling trees. And it reads, the East Labema Valley Resident Association Accra on Thursday gave the ECG 1 week ultimatum to replant the 50 trees it fell in the area without recourse to its environmental impact. According to the association, the decision to cut down the trees defeated the government's Green Ghana project and called on the ECG to take steps to restore those trees.
This is actually a very interesting topic because somewhere last week we read a story that said that government had put an initiative to plant over 100 million more trees.
And here
a
government
organization is putting down those trees. So are we replacing what they are taking, or we are trying to improve the environment? Where exactly do we stand?
It's more or less like they plant just to consider. For whatever reason at all, I think there should have been a better way, to go about this. There's a very important saying that when the last tree
Dies.
the last man was, yes, the last man died. So we Ghanaians trying to seeing the need for the environment, for us to keep the environment and then planting more trees, and then a state-owned agency is also cutting down these trees.
Isn't government supposed to have the same values as all these state-owned
Exactly
organizations?
I was about to ask that if it was a private,
We would have put hell on their heads.
but I really want to see where the story ends. Actually, I really want to see where it ends. Let us also know your feedback in the comment section on what you think in regards to this.
In the Daily Graphic, another story reads, Moscow accuses US of ploy to disrupt relations with Africa. The US is exerting unprecedented pressure on African countries, including attempting to disrupt a planned Russia-Africa summit. Russia's Deputy Foreign Minister, Mikhail, is quoted as saying, President Vladimir Putin will host the second Russia-Africa summit in July in St. Petersburg, an event intended to underline his attempts to carry favor in Africa's nation after being shunned by West over his invasion of Ukraine a year ago. Now here's the case where after the Russia-Ukraine war, which is still going on,
yes.
the US, which had relation to majority of the countries, has started sending threats to them that if you deal with Russia, it's either we are cutting your aid or something. So here's it that it's like you're having two friends who are fighting and you are the middle person. And this person is saying, we are not doing this if you support him, I'm not helping you. So it's like Africa is just between this battle of, I don't know what it's called.
Country war.
Exactly.
So you see, the other question we are to ask ourselves is, why is it Africa? Why is it always Africa? When, these foreign countries go to war against one another, Africa will intend to suffer. Why?
That's because it says here that African countries suffer threats of imposing sanctions,
Exactly.
termination of financial and humanitarian aid.
What did we do?
Are we the ones fighting Ukraine?
What have we done? What did we do? But one thing we should also take note is that, a lot of things go behind the scene, okay, in terms of politics and all that. So I think Russia is trying to get Africa on its side.
And so is the US.
Exactly. But this shouldn't be so. The main focus should always be on world peace.
But why can't we isolate ourselves from all these things? Like, yes, you are having your war. When you are dealt with, then you can come and talk to us. We should be that middle friend that would be like, oh, I can't talk to you right now. Wait to buy water. So Africa, we should go and buy water.
Look, you see, Russia, in terms of oil production in the world, Russia has the largest. Okay, so if we deny Russia,
we are denying our oil. and if we deny the US, we are denying financial aid.
Exactly. You see, it's good. Now let's just pray that China won't also get involved. Okay, so let's move on to the Ghanaian Times, and this is from the Ghana Health Service has confirmed 2 cases of Lassa fever 9 months since the last week of May 2022, when it directed all healthcare facilities across the country to be on the alert for suspected cases of Lassa fever because of reports of the outbreak of the disease in some West African countries, including Liberia, Togo, and Nigeria. It is here.
Yeah. The same as quietly as COVID came, that is how quietly Lassa fever is also coming.
Well,
But I'm shocked it's not getting the how do I say, the loudness COVID got when it started infecting people.
it's just because of one reason. Probably it doesn't kill as as COVID or perhaps Ebola. You see. So for the sake of our viewers, I think we should try and educate our viewers on the Lassa fever. So to our viewers, the Lassa fever is a virus that is caused by rodents. Okay, so these rodents, through their urine and their feces, they can contaminate your food and all that. So when you eat it, you tend to have the virus. So I think we should be more careful.
Of the food we
Yes,
eat.
of the food you eat, and then how to
How we prepare and preserve our
preserve.
food.
Most importantly, preserve it. And some of the symptoms are you have headache, sore throat, and if you have any of these symptoms, please again, consult a doctor. Okay, and then if you have, let's say, any health conditions and all that too, please be careful.
Now, another interesting story in the Daily Graphic. 6 ministers to answer questions. 6 ministers of state are scheduled to appear in Parliament this week to apprise the House of Steps their respective ministers are taking to address national and constituency-specific concerns. The ministers will respond to a total of 45 questions, 6 urgent, 39 oral, pertaining to health, sports, depreciation of the city, expenditure for free senior high school program, tax revenues, roads and security. Now, the newspaper gave a few ministers that are going to be here: the Minister of Health of Ghana, the Minister of Sports, the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Works and Housing, the Minister of the Roads and Highways. And there are some very interesting questions here. So we'll take one for the Minister of Finance.
Okay.
So one question which would be asked will be factors that are causing the persistent and rapid depreciation of Ghana cedi amongst major currencies, and what steps the minister is putting in place to mitigate the adverse impact the situation has had on the economy. This is something Ghanaians all want to know.
And as much as we want to know, I think we know the answer that is coming. Don't we?
Well, we can only hope, because if such questions that are laid out here in the newspaper are answered based on the questions and they are answered rightly, I think it will calm a lot of Ghanaians down, because we honestly do not know where we are headed.
Well, I want to know if this is just a one-time thing, because I personally would like it to be, let's say, a monthly thing or something, where we will always call you
And
then ask you questions.
Yes, we'll ask you,
Because
what are you doing?
We deserve to know.
What is your progress? Tell us. Because I thought, was it this year or last year that was supposed to be the year of roads?
I think it was last year.
Yes,
I think
and
it
now
was
we are
last year.
interviewing the Minister of Roads and Highways. What has happened to those
Yes. These are some. This should be a monthly thing where you should just pick the ministers at random and just ask you.
Because you are a minister, you're supposed to have the information at hand. So if you don't have the information, then it means something is wrong.
Something is wrong.
Definitely wrong.
Okay. So let's move on to the Ghanaian Times. EC urged to reconsider decision to use only Ghana card for voters registration. The Africa Center for Parliamentary Affairs, a parliamentary think tank, has urged the Electoral Commission to reconsider the decision to use only the Ghana card for voter registration. It noted that if the Ghana card is going to be the sole identity, then we have to ensure it is for all citizens, and until that is done, until that is done, a number of people are going to be disenfranchised.
I think we spoke on this last week. The Ghana card, which we registered for, we used our birth certificate to register for it.
Yes.
The voters ID, which we registered for, we used our birth certificate to register for it.
Even
The National
that
Health Insurance, we used our birth certificate to register
and all
for
those contain our fingerprint.
biometric.
Yes.
So why is it just the Ghana card that is so superior to all of these IDs that we have to use that alone for election? Because majority of Ghanaians do not have their Ghana card.
Yes. Most, no, not majority. We can say some don't. Okay, some don't.
Some don't. Some have lost theirs. Some
Okay, some have problems with the spelling of their names.
Different cases everywhere. So why are you just standing on one card and not giving yourself? Because last voting we registered for a voter's ID.
Yes, we did.
So why would we just use that?
Well, probably sometimes it has to be reviewed and then so you have to go and check. People do things or not. Some die and all that. So yes. So in order to move ghost names, we have to do exactly.
card.
No, not the Ghana card per se, but we have to check again before the election year.
But even with my how do you say it? My NHIS, I can use to register to vote. And because I am not a ghost person, I hold my ID in my hand.
Yes.
So the person who is not available will not be present. So then you cancel out those who aren't.
Well, I guess that's one way we can also try and look at it. Okay. This is still Afrida News. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Afrida News. In the top stories on Tuesday, 28th of February 2022, from the Daily Graphic, it reads, SHS freshers report for school. Exodus of greener pastures, 100 nurses leave Pantang Hospital. Ban on used electrical appliances to reduce electricity cost, Energy Commission. ECOWAS, AU, Commonwealth Observer missions commend Nigerians. Okay.
Moving on to the Ghanaian Times, Tuesday, February 28, 2023. The headlines read, Asantehene warns chief, stop double land sales, or incur my payment for coupons, principles of matured old bonds to begin March 13th from the Finance Ministry. Neutral mediation process, key to ending Boko crisis. $8.5 million needed to host Africa Para Games in Accra. 29 Galamseyers arrested in Kwaibrim.
One of the top stories in the Daily Graphic reads, 100 nurses leave Pantang Hospital. Nearly 150 experienced nurses and other health professionals from Pantang Hospital have left the shores of the country in search of greener pastures in the last 6 years. Of the number, 100 are specialized psychiatric and general nurses, while the rest consists of doctors, pharmacists, technicians, and other experienced personnel in health delivery. Now, the health personnel in Pantang Hospital are leaving the shores of Ghana in search of greener pastures. The paper reads that in 2018, 8 people were recorded to have left. In 2020, 26 people were recorded to have left. And then in 2022, 64 people joined the batch. And in just the January of 2023, we lost 10 nurses and 1 doctor. And here is the case where all these nurses and doctors are experienced nurses and doctors.
It seems as the years go by, we keep on losing more than the year after. I think the questions we should also be asking is why?
What does going out of the country have for you that inside your country does not have for you?
Many will argue that a lot, though. But then until we're able to get some of these nurses and pharmacists who have traveled outside to tell us the experience, so that I think moving forward, we need to make some necessary. They are there to make the patients of the hospital feel better, get better, and then come back, and then move on with their lives. But then they go there, and then based on what they experience, we're like, no, this is not where I want to be. I'm gone.
Well, the newspaper said that based on the COVID-19 that hit the US and UK, there has been a large need for doctors and nurses abroad. So due to this, the pay for medical officials has gone up.
Okay.
So based on that, people are seeing that as, if I'm going to earn more there, why would I stay in my own country based on my experience? Because, in the foreign countries, based on your experience and your level of certificate,
Yes.
they pay you more.
Yes.
So if an experienced doctor is leaving Ghana, maybe the experienced doctor is earning the same pay as maybe a new person who is like learning the practical skill.
No, perhaps okay, when you put it like that, I don't have a problem with it. But then, when they go, hardly would they like to. Hardly.
You don't have a problem with over 100 nurses experience leaving your country when we are hearing news of Lassa fever and we need all these experienced nurses to help us.
Provide better working conditions for them, and they will stay.
Well, the government said they will provide better working
Since
conditions.
when?
It was
No,
written
since
here.
when? I'm saying since when, because we've been hearing. I mean, it's not just to the health sector. There are other sectors that we are working on it.
Well, is this one that they have been able to record for us to see?
That's an interesting one. Let's move to the Ghanaian Times. 29 galamseyers arrested in Kwaibrim. Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners Task Force has arrested 29 illegal miners operating in the Kwaibrim municipality of the eastern region. The illegal miners, popularly known as galamseyers, who were grabbed in a swoop at three separate sites at Achim Pramkese and Achim Abodom, had destroyed acres of cocoa and palm plantations.
Ghana is known for producing cocoa. So if these illegal miners are taking that from us, what would we have? It's like every day there's a new illegal mining story. There's a new galamsey story. There's something somewhere. First, we thought they had seized their machines, but we are still hearing stories of them invading people's farms.
So, I mean, it's good. It's good news that these 29 galamseyers have been arrested.
But what is to say that these 29 that have been arrested would deter the rest of the people who have not been caught to stay off the farms?
Well, I guess we can't say that. But then, it's a start. Sometimes let's, give the police some, some form
Yes,
of
we'll give them.
congratulations.
We are giving them
Yes,
the credits
yes,
for arresting
this,
them.
yes.
But if this has been going on for long, we have been arresting galamseyers for long,
Yes.
and they still come back, then it means that the arresting alone is not enough.
So what do you suggest we should do?
Maybe they must build more police stations within those areas that they are not of farming centered. So if a farmer has a cocoa farm and he feels that there's an illegal miner coming, and maybe the friend has sold the farm because the illegal miner is giving him more money, but he doesn't want to sell his, he can go and report to the police station. Then they come and they take away their equipment.
Yeah, some say that some of the police, I mean, it's just an allegation though. Some of the police, service personnel are also involved in the galamsey, one or the other.
Well, it's up to the government to flush them out because as at this point, it's becoming too much. In the Daily Graphic, we have another story. Ban on used electrical appliances to reduce electricity costs. The decision to ban the importation of some used electrical appliances and renewable energy products will reduce the burden of electricity costs on the consumers. The the Executive Secretary of the Energy Commission, Oscar Amanonieza, has said. Its purpose, the purpose of this new regulation is to reduce electricity demand and cost, protect the environment, and safeguard the health of citizens from air pollution caused by increased power generation, and protect appliances as well as high electricity bills. Now here it is that according to research, if you buy an electrical equipment and maybe it has an average operating time of 16 years and that time has passed, the appliance begins to take more electricity to be able to work just as
Yes.
good as it
use.
was.
Yes.
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 So if this commission is putting in this to help the Ghanaians, but the Ghanaians feel that me buying a second-hand equipment is cheap and
It's cheaper.
it works for me. So why should I go and buy a brand new fridge from this place and then use it for 16 years and then now have to either change the parts or buy a new fridge because the operating time has...
You see, how many Ghanaians know this?
That's a lot.
How many Ghanaians know this? How many Ghanaians know that, oh, after 16 years or after these number of years, I'm supposed to change this. I'm supposed to change my refrigerator. I'm supposed to change my electric stove, this
I
and
don't
that.
even remember the day my mom bought the fridge. Like I don't like when we buy the fridge in this year, I forget that okay, we bought the fridge in 2023, so it means in 16 years time
Yes.
we have to go, like after
You know,
you buy the fridge, you are done.
There are some households that they will even tell you that the fridge is older than you. Meanwhile, you're in your middle 20s, where the fridge is way older than you.
Older than you. Way past its operating
So I
time.
think that bringing this up, is really going to help, because as it stands now, although we are not, experiencing intensive, doom so.
As before.
Yes. Okay. But bringing this out is going to help, we are still developing and all that. So it's going to reduce that, the doom so here and there and all that. Because sometimes it can be very, very annoying.
You
by
be
then,
in the house enjoying on one nice Saturday.
Exactly.
And then the light goes
It's
off.
off. Okay. But you've bought your irons, your iron for the past 20 years. You are still using it. It's taking more electricity. Your TV is there. Your fridge is also there. So please, you're also forming part of it. Okay. Moving on to the Ghanaian Times. Asantehene wants chiefs stop double land sales.
Double land sales.
Stop double land sales. Or in Kemara, the Asantehene Otunfo Osei Tutu II has expressed grave concern about the way and manner some of his traditional leaders have involved themselves in double land sales and others forcefully snatching lands from owners over expired lease with impunity. He has therefore warned Kumasi traditional leaders to stop cheating residents with their authority over lands or face his wrath.
This thing has always been a case with lands. You can never trust who you are buying from. You buy from someone and then later on you maybe you set up a wall that okay, I want to invest in this land. 3 years later I'll come and build on it. And then someone comes that this land has been sold to me and there's this whole battle. So that same person has sold the same land to 2 people or 3 people and they don't know how to go about it.
Sometimes you're a chief, you're a leader. People look up to you. There are some things that, we shouldn't even open our mouths to say that, oh, you have done such a thing. Why will you sell a piece of or a plot of land to more than one person? Why? Why will you do that?
You see, with the way things are going, prices of things increase. So even leaving a land down, let's say let's take East Legon Hills.
Yes.
East Legon Hills used to be a very bare land. But now that people are building, the prices of land there has increased rapidly.
Yes.
So me leaving my land there, knowing that in 2-3 years time, when I come back, there would have been like 1,000 CDs added onto it. and I can sell it, or I can even build maybe a housing unit to rent. It's going to benefit me.
Yes.
But me selling the land to you, it means I'm losing maybe future investment that I would have made. So I'll sell it to you, I'll sell it to you, I'll sell it to you, I'll make thrice the amount, and then I vanish
Ellie,
from sight.
irrespective of the year or the time you sell it, you always lose future
This
investment.
is basically selfishness.
you always do it. So I mean, and do you know the funny thing? Some of these chiefs, when they sell the lands, is the people they even sell you to. It's not like they are come to use it for any developmental project or anything. Some what pubs and I mean, and then you sold it to more than one person, and then the issue of land guards will come inside, people dying and all that, and then when it goes around, and then they'll be like, oh, you sold it to me. You'll be like, me, no, I didn't.
Me, I feel if they all come together and find a particular person who sold them the land, they should take their money from him, and then they will take the money from him and keep the land and divide it among
No,
themselves.
that is what Otunfo is saying, that because of the power they have, because of he is a chief, it's his land.
But aren't chieftaincy lands supposed to be left there?
No, some sell, so that you use the money. If I've come to you that, oh, I want to build a school in your the area or something, and then you'll be like, oh yes, please do it. But I can even give it to you half of the price, because what you're about to do is going to benefit us.
It will benefit your locality.
Yes.
And you can even request that maybe they pay loyalties to you. So you will still benefit. So why would you still go and sell it to someone else again?
Exactly. Yes, please. For please, yes. I think the wrath has been long overdue. Any chivu.
We want to see the wrath now.
Yes, it has been long overdue.
In the daily graphic, we have enroll students in local universities to save costs. Parents and guardians have been advised to encourage their wards to study in the country's universities instead of paying hefty fees for them to study abroad. According to the managing director of the Graphic Communications Group Limited, Ato Afo, many of the nation's universities were investing in infrastructure and human capital to enrich the quality of teaching and learning comparable to those abroad. Now, here's the thing where students will finish senior high school and their parents will pay for them to go and study abroad, or they immediately start looking for
scholarships
to
and
go abroad. And they are not interested in the universities in their own country.
Yeah.
But then here's the thing, that if the university is able to bring out more brilliant students, it will be recognized the more. Because I go out, I become the president of a CEO of a big company, and then they ask my biography, and I say, oh, I'm from this school, I'm from this university, and then it's recognized. Like, how would you feel if they say, oh, a school in a university in Ghana is part of the Ivy League schools?
Well, it will surely feel good for that. It will surely, but then sometimes you take a look at what you want. Right now, if there is a person in Ghana who wants to be an astronaut, have you seen the question I'm about to ask? I mean, have you?
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
If there's a person in Ghana who wants to be an astronaut,
a pilot.
Oh, but they are piloting.
Do we have aerospace schools in Ghana?
Oh yes, I know of a few. But I do know of a few. You see, the thing is, when you look at the Ghanaian education system from the 1990s, if you see a picture or when you enter the classroom, the way the classroom is so now, that is the same way the classroom has been. Maybe it's just the pencil and the desks that has been changed. Nothing new. It's the same way. Times are changing, but then, just the four corners, chairs, board, we are learning.
Well, students still have to buy big books to go and learn.
Big books. I remember you be going to school and then
the parents will be asking you, why is your bag?
Why is your bag? Oh, I mean, You walk and then your bag is like this.
You become all hunched up because you are carrying like 5
How do you even go to? How do you go to? So yes, I think you see sometimes they what the person wants to do, the person can't do it. Yeah, the person will have to go outside and then fulfill his or her dreams.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yes, but then on the other hand, when you look at it again, who wouldn't want to go outside?
Trust me, a lot of people do.
Do you know why?
Tell me.
Because it's different.
Different how?
It's better. Yes.
Why do you say better?
That's the truth.
We have good schools in Ghana.
Oh yes, we do. But how many are there? To the Ghanaian test. Parents urged to control children's access to electronic devices.
I think we read a story on this before.
I think last week. I think it has come up again.
Yes.
Which means it's. I think it's a campaign that they are doing.
It's something we want to really pay attention to.
When do you think is an ideal age for, a child to have access to phone? Because I remember I didn't have my phone until when I finished.
I got my
high
first
school.
phone after BEC.
Yeah. Oh, yours was good. That was after high school.
The one I had after BEC was because usually when I go out, I used to call my mom. It was literally a tiny those yams.
Yams, yes.
It wasn't touch screen. It was like just something to be able to call my mom. So when I got my first smartphone, that was like somewhere in SHS, but I wasn't able to use it because I was in the boarding house. So it was after that I had like full access to the mobile phone. But here, if you tell a child that wait till you finish JHS to get a smartphone, and the child is coming to class and then the students are holding
his friends are holding
iPhone 13, iPhone 12, you are saying wait till you finish BC. There's going to be one in the house.
You've turned into an enemy. So easy. Our elders, okay, you always say that we don't know like how lucky we are, how blessed we are. We've gotten things easy. And now, I believe we will also tell the younger generation or our brothers and sisters that you don't know how lucky you are, how blessed we are to have this at this time.
I think every parent and their way of parenting.
Yes.
Because every parent has their child's well-being at heart.
Yeah.
So if I feel that, okay, my child can have a phone at this time, but will be supervised, then that is your way of gatekeeping the information your child gets.
Yeah.
But if you feel that, okay, I can give my child a phone that doesn't have access to the internet, or I won't give my child the phone at all, it's based on how they feel that, okay, this will help my child grow into a better human being and not be influenced by all the things going around.
Exactly, because it's a whole world. It's like you have the whole world in your palm.
Right in your palm.
Like you have everything. So you watches everything. I remember when I was younger, because there was no phone, no this thing, you have to was it Akina Popo, these movies?
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? You have to sit there and my senior brothers they'll wait when the movie is getting interesting.
They'll like send you.
Not send you tomorrow. You have to go and sleep. But then kids of nowadays.
Oh.
Don't worry. I'll watch it on my tablet. I'll watch it on my phone. This is also Afrida News. Thank you for watching.